Yeah, this is the Segway Cyber. I had this bike for about 5 days, and I told y'all I was gonna do an update every video, and here it is. What I think about the bike after 5 days. The bike is pretty good. It got the 5-inch tires. It got the 2 batteries, but the rear suspension, it's not great for a heavy rider. Now, I don't know what, lighter riders. Matter of fact, I got somebody that's a little lighter than me. So, what do you think about the bike? About the suspension?
So the rear suspension on the Segway is not made for like somebody who's heavy. I am light, but it still bottoms out in the back.
Okay.
So if you was to have this bike, you would have to sit forward more. So
okay, so you rode the bike to your job. I let you ride it. And what do you think about the speed? What do you think about the speed?
So it does top out at 35 miles per hour on race mode. It's a good city bike. So speed is great. If you somebody that likes to speed a lot,
not to cut you off, but again, we're not comparing it to something like this. This is what everybody want to compare it to. Something 72 volt. We're not going to do that. Compare it to something with a 48 volt, like a Super 73. And that's what I'm going to compare this to. Super 73, this is smoking that. What do you think?
Yeah.
I had an aerial rider, Grizzly. He thinks that bike actually could beat this bike. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I like the way this bike rides. It rides very smooth. It's planted to the ground, and I like the safety features.
And it goes up hills very good.
And it goes up hills. It's not like sluggish where you know how the Super 73 is, it's creeping, or sometimes it don't even creep. It's just barely going. This just goes up. It's going to eat the hills up. We did like a little kind of hill test with this. Maybe I'll revisit that when I do like a ride test. I plan on doing that, like a ride, and we'll see side by side. But we did it ourselves just now, and the Segway won, then the E-Ride Pro. But keep in mind, I'm like 295, close to 300. And how much you weigh?
Like 230, 240.
230, 240. And he was on the Segway, and I was on the E-Ride Pro. And with that being said, the Segway, the Segway held his own against it a little bit, but we're not comparing it. It's just for y'all to, get some type of idea. Now the features. You see, if I back up from it, it's going to shut that off. When I walk up, that comes on. And as that comes on, I hit the button, Spidey. I'm recording. It comes on, it unlocks the steering wheel, and now you can ride off. Well, once you put the kickstand, now you can ride off. Then you put the kickstand down, goes in the park. Then I turn this way, I back up, it does a little countdown, and it should shut off. That's how I got it set up. You can set it up different ways, but that's how I like it, because just in case I forget. Now it shuts off. Spidey, try to move the bike. Now, when you try to move it, it's not just the steering lock. Try to roll it. See? Keep. It won't move. it won't move. So it's not only the steering lock, which is good, but it got the rear motor locks up too. And a lot of people didn't talk about that. Now the app has a lot of features, and we're gonna go into that a little bit right now. So as you can see in the app, I'm sorry I'm not screen recording, but I don't know, with the app, you see I have no cell service. See that little red thing over the cell bars? It shows none. I don't know why it does that. I think I got a faulty GPS, well, SIM card or whatever's in this bike. It has satellite and SIM card, so it can track it without the Apple Find My. I even got that activated in there. I'll show y'all in one sec. As you can see, it's showing two bikes because my other bike, the E-Rod Pro, that got an Apple tag in there. Hold on, I feel like the bike is very comfortable. I just feel like the suspension, like I said, bottoms out. Overall, do I recommend this bike for a heavier rider? I don't know. For a heavy rider, that bottoming out thing could get annoying for some people. For me, I could deal with it because I feel like if they come out with a strong 500 pound, maybe a 550 pounds spring, it feels like a 350, 450. They come out with a stronger spring or stiffer spring, this bike will be very good. The range is questionable. I think it's okay. It's not, you're not getting 110 miles unless you put in this in eco and you pedal in this with pedal assist. I think that's what that goal was. But I think with my weight, and I'm like I said, I'm 295, and I think I can probably, in race mode, probably do maybe 20 miles with race mode. I think with him, I think he could probably get 30 out of it in race mode. Constantly 35, pushing it. But if you put it in sport, which is the mode before race, I think you can probably get close to 40, 50 miles with a 240 pound rider. With my weight, I don't know, I think I think 30, 40. And like I said, with race, I think with my weight, to be clear, 20, 30. So the range is not, if you're just constantly using the throttle. But I feel like if you want to pedal this bike, you're going to get some good range out of it. That's where the range is going to kick in, because it's a 48 volt. The 48 volt is really limiting the range. I felt like they should have probably put a 60 volt in this, at least. Then the range would pick up a little bit. Because like what I say with the E-Rod, not to compare them, but the E-Rod, I can get an easy 30 to probably 40 miles of range, maybe more, because I don't really speed. I'm not a speed demon. This guy right here, he likes to speed.
Professional.
But I'm not a speed demon, and I'm gonna try to cut this short, man. I do think I feel like if you want a bicycle, this could be the bike for you, because it locks. That locking feature alone, to me, is a good feature, and that's what sold me on the bike personally. That locking feature. I like to go in and out of buildings real quick and do my 1-2s and move around, and don't got to really worry about the bike. Yes, I feel like you still should lock it to something, but if you're going somewhere quick and you got a good view of your bike, I think you can go in the store without locking it, because that feature's on there. I don't know what else to say about it. it's good. I'm glad I bought it. Am I happy with my purchase? Yes. Did I expect a little bit more out this bike? Yes. I expected a little better range out of it, but it's an okay bike. You know, $4,000, 2 batteries. Well, I got a little deal. And to sum up the braking on this, I think I saw one YouTuber talk about it. I kind of agree with him. It's not the best. They should have put a bigger caliper on the back of this bike, the same as they did. They should have put the same one that they put on the front on the back. The braking, it seems like, I feel like when the region kicks in, it's a little better. But when it's at 100% and you got no region and you going 35 or over 25, that's when you feel like, oh, is this bike gonna stop? And you know, that's the thing with the bike for me. But other than that, like I said, it's a good bike. If you got any questions, comment, throw it in the comments. I read them and I respond back.